Well, good morning, everyone. I'm really happy to be here with you and talk about leadership and my own personal journey. As you can probably tell by the gray around my ears, this isn't the first rodeo that I've been on. But I would tell you that it's really been interesting over the past 3 decades or so to see as I transition from one role to the next in different organizations. I came to understand how unique almost every leadership position is. And it presents its own set of challenges for you. But for me, I chose this morning to talk about the transition to my current role. Not because it's so unique from what I did in the past, but it really does encompass a very broad set of circumstances that I had to address, overcome, you name it. This is the first role that I have ever been in where I am the so-called partner in the room. I was always the line of business before. And you know, if you're the line of business, you're the one that sets the agendas and you determine what your team is going to focus on. Very different than the partner role. I also was always a part of big banks, and we were the ones that gobbled up the smaller banks. So for me now, in this transition, I've had a lot of good old friends that are no longer here. And I did often wonder early on whether or not I was going to be able to fit into the culture here. But 2 years have gone by and I feel very comfortable and very confident in my role at this point in time. And I'm having just a lot of fun. You really can't feel sorry for yourself in these things. Change is constant and you just have to get past it and move on. And for me, I've always had an optimistic attitude about things. So my idea is just embrace it. Well, sticking with the positive, I would tell you that I was given a very unique opportunity here in the East to build something from the ground up. And those are always fun initiatives to get up in the morning. You're pumped up every day. And this wasn't, though, for me, the first strategic build-out initiative I've ever done over my career. So I wasn't fearful of my ability to be able to handle the elements that we'd have to address. But I do remember a concern of just wondering, are we going to be able, me and my team, to get this thing up and running fast enough to be able to achieve the financial success that the organization is looking for? Well, we all have a very unique set of attributes or characteristics. You know, our ethics and belief system and our character really will influence how we're going to lead. But I've always believed that you need to know who you are, what you know, and what you can do. And I think if you can really understand how your role could evolve by answering those kind of questions, I think you'll stay really focused on what you need to do. I've never, and normally I'm not ever, the smartest guy sitting in a room. And I remember 2 years ago sitting and being interviewed by Deborah and Michelle, faking my way through the knowledge of the business. And thank God this was before the Durbin Amendment, because many of you here in the room know how Michelle likes to ask interchange questions at interviews, and that would have probably just killed me, for sure. If you think about leadership practices and lessons that we can all apply in our jobs, for me, there's probably a couple of them that I spend the most time focusing on or practicing. The first one is understanding and valuing relationships. You know, as I meet somebody new, whether it be a team member we're going to hire or a partner in the field, I'm always most interested in understanding what's motivating them to be successful in their jobs. And if I understand how they're defining success, I think that I've got a leg up where I could build a shared understanding or shared vision for success. And I think if we can do that, we're starting out on the right foot. And in our roles as partners to the retail bank and the business bank, this kind of leadership attribute is at a premium to understand and spend enough time. I have always felt as well that you should surround yourself with great people, but that normally is not enough. And what I've come to realize is and we apply these practices as we build out the Southeast region is that we want people who really want to work in our organization that has a vision that is shared with what we care about the most. We feel that if we've got a unified purpose and a shared vision, then we're taking care of things that are things beyond the personal aspects of why and what's in it for me. But we want individuals that really got a passion for customers, really got a passion for service, and really have a passion and a commitment to what we're trying to build out here, so that it's sustainable in the long term. The last thing I would share with you is this personal story that I wish long ago there was a wise man that told me that leadership is really more about caring for the heart. What I mean by that is that leadership, when you care for the heart, really stands out from others. And I would bet that the engagement scores in Q12 probably bear this out. The highest scores probably represent those leaders who have the most passion for their team members and really, really are serving them rather selflessly. That gets done well in the military. It doesn't get done well in the business world, and as frequently as it should. But I think we'd be all better off spending more time thinking as leaders how we can be a little bit more selfless about those types of things and be servants on behalf of our team members. So those are the things that I've really focused on over the last couple years as we started to build out the Southeast region. And I'm really enjoying the job that I have with my team members and my managers. And I hope over the coming years to hear more of your personal stories and successes as we continue to build momentum in merchant services. Thank you very much for your time.